Welcome to the MC Report, take 3. The last 2 takes, the first one was a week ago. We didn't get it out in time. The second try we don't talk about. So we're going to start here. College football, last week's sports, irrelevant. We're talking about playoff sports. This could determine if the Longhorns make it. A 10-point win over the Aggies. Undefeated at the time. They notch up their first loss. Marcel Reed, your Heisman hopes are dead. Arch Manning, I don't want to say Heisman, but the box score doesn't show, but he had a great rushing game. He had a great, passing game. And 24 points in the second half compared to A&M 7. Notched up the victory. They're 9-3. Now, I hate to be the guy that's like every SEC team should get in, but I honestly think Texas maybe should get in. We'll see. It just kind of depends on how the conference games go. So we're going to move on here. Good old-fashioned hate. Georgia and Georgia Tech faced off. If you remember last year, it was like 9 overtimes. I forget what it was. Maybe 8 overtimes, thank you. This one was a lot more boring. Georgia come out with the win 16-9. Wasn't really that close. I don't think Georgia Tech's eliminated from playoffs. They got eliminated because of this game. They needed this win if they had any hope, and Georgia just snuffed that out. A defensive battle all the way through. Excuse me, I just burped twice. Super unprofessional. But 16-9, the Bulldogs set for an SEC matchup with Bama. That's going to be a fun one. The fact game day is going there instead of one. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But Gunnar Stockton technically got outplayed, but, I mean, when your defense only allows 9 points, you can beat anyone. Doesn't matter how you play, you can beat anyone. So, probably. This is only on here. I'm shocked this is even on here. Through 3 quarters, they were losing 10-14. It looked like Utah was going to be eliminated from playoffs. They still technically are not in, but they needed that fourth quarter to have any chance. Jalen Daniels sold. He had 2 picks in the fourth. He was looking like he was going to have a great game, but it, sold it. Denver, obviously, through 3 quarters, I mean, I'm pretty sure he had 1 touchdown, so getting that from the box score looks like a stellar performance. Getting that and getting the win gives them still a chance to make it. If BYU loses, Utah could get in depending on how some of the championships work out. We'll see, though. So, obviously, Kansas, you were just playing spoiler. Let's be real. So, obviously, put up a good fight, but the Utes come out on top. A little bit choppy with the screenshot, but, overtime here in the Mountain West. There's a reason why this is on here. It's on the next slide. The Aztecs took the loss to New Mexico. This has got me worried about Boise State. You'll see I'm not that mad about it. But, obviously, on paper, this should have knocked Boise out. It did not. A close game throughout. San Diego State was favored by 10.5 in the beginning. Was not able to win it. So the Lobos matched their record, 9-3 each. 2 running teams facing off. And just a good win for the Lobos. Nothing else to put it. But Boise did one better. 1-point win over Utah State. I'm sorry, Jordan Love. Max Cutforth actually looked good for once. This is, I think, his one only good game. And it's going to be his one only good game because Maddox is back. But the first quarter was very entertaining. The rest of the quarters were not. We had 1 touchdown the rest of the game. So, very defensive game besides that first quarter. But Boise finished 8-4. They're in the Mountain West Championship. We'll talk about it. Bryson Barnes played terrible. The run game was doing great, and they just did not use it at all. So, if any team can exploit Boise, it's their run D. It's not good. So, we're in the Mountain West Championship. That's all that matters to me. I don't know how we got in over, New Mexico or I think we versus San Diego State, actually. But UNLV, yeah. But I don't know how we got in over both of those. But technically, I think it was because New Mexico beat San Diego State. So thank you, New Mexico, because now we have a chance at the college football playoffs. The game, Michigan, Ohio State. The box score does not represent it. This game was not close. Michigan started up, I believe, up 6-0. And obviously the pick with Julian saying, I thought, oh boy, here we go again. Michigan's going to beat the Buckeyes again. And then nothing happened for Michigan the entire game. Bryce, they just don't like to throw. I think that's just Michigan's thing this season. They just did not like to throw. Julian Sayin, after that pick, was really good. I think he's my Heisman frontrunner right now. It's going to be Mendoza or Sayin. Whoever wins that Big Ten championship is probably going to get it. So, I think the most valuable right now is probably Mendoza because Indiana has kind of leaned on him most of the wins, while Sayin has at least a competent run game. But you beat Michigan. This was the one team that always held you back. If you're a Buckeyes fan, you beat them. So can you keep that winning streak going in the Big Ten Championship, 1 versus 2? Only 2 undefeated teams remain. They play next week, so that's going to be a very fun one. Oregon, I just don't think this team looks that impressive. Obviously, you beat Washington. This is my sleeper pick. I thought this game would be actually closer than what it was. But Dante Moore, another game manager role. Desmond Williams sold the game. I'm not going to lie. Oregon just hasn't really looked that impressive. They were dominant through 3 quarters, and then Washington tried to muster a comeback. Could not finish it off. But Washington goes to 8-4. They're still a solid team. I mean, 8-4. But Oregon just outplayed them all the way through. I don't think they're that impressive. I think if they verse like a Notre Dame, they're going to get beat. So I wouldn't say they're frauds because, they're 5th in the nation. But they're not a great top 5 team. I think there's been better. So we head to the next one. This is another team. I think that maybe he's on fraud watch. LSU, an offense that looked awful, a defense that looked great. Oklahoma was supposed to be the opposite, and they survived. That's the only way to put it. 17-13. John Madeir, not a good game. 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. Michael Van Buren didn't play any better. So, yeah, if LSU just had like a competent offense, they would have won this game. So, wait. Yeah, we aren't going to talk about that. I hate Lane Kiffin for doing that to Ole Miss. But, yeah. So, Oklahoma right now is in the college football playoffs. I don't think they can get bounced out because they don't play in the SEC championship. So I think the most likely, unless Bama wins, actually no, they definitely are in because I think Bama's ahead of them. So most likely, I'd be shocked if Oklahoma misses. I don't think Oklahoma will do much, but still, they're in at 10-2. That loss to Texas is the only reason Texas is alive. So we'll see if that means Texas gets in. I would love an Oklahoma-Texas rematch in the playoffs. I don't think it could happen, but that's close. I would probably lean BYU as well, but we will see as I'm trying to hit the next slide. The Iron Bowl. These 2 teams always play it tough, kind of like with the game, but this game actually showed up close throughout. Bama here at the very end got the win. I think the turnover, it was like a fumble. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention, I'm not going to lie. But Auburn always plays – every team they've played has been tough. It's just they can't finish out games, and it's once again happening there. Bama goes against Georgia in the SEC championship, so they're going to face off. 7-point game, 27-20. So Ty Simpson, once again, not much yardage, but his completion percentage was good. He had 3 touchdowns. I don't think he's a Heisman front runner. He may be like number 3 or 4, but still – Bama, 10-2. You take on Georgia. Can you beat them twice? Bama is the only team Georgia has lost to, so we'll see if they face off. And then this is my personal favorite team I want to make the playoffs. Vandy, once again, a show-out win against Tennessee, 45-24. 14th in the nation. Tennessee, obviously, they did great in the first half. Obviously, you saw 21-21 at halftime. But 24-3 second half, Vandy's defense actually showed up for once. That's like the first time ever. So they get the win, 45-24. The question is that can Vandy get a little bit of help? Obviously, they've got teams like Texas, I believe, is ahead of them by 1. Oklahoma's at 8. If there's all the SEC teams, I think the main team that's probably not going to make it is Vandy, which is a disappointing, end because Vandy is 10-2. With all these, kind of games. But I think Vandy, considering the fact that they haven't been good since, 1950, this is a great season for them. So we'll see what happens there. And then this is my biggest disappointment. SMU put up a stinker through 3 quarters and then tried to come back and couldn't get it done. JKS, because I'm not pronouncing that name for the second time, has somehow shown up here. And he showed up. This is easily, it's something like that. But, I mean, obviously 334 scores. He outplayed Kevin Jennings, which I think is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. So, a great win for Cal, knocks SMU out of the playoffs, puts Duke in. We'll talk about it. And, obviously Cal, once again, just kind of a team playing spoiler, but still a great win for them. 3-point win. The question is that can SMU prove, because they're going to probably get a pretty good team in a bowl game, can they prove they can beat that kind of like big name team? I don't know who they're going to play. That would be a good game, honestly. I think that'd be a great game, but we'll see. That's the most disappointing one for SMU. Speaking of the Nittany Lions, we are bowl eligible. That's what we're starting 3-6, and then an absolute. This is the best game of the entire, in my opinion, the entire slate of college football last week. This was definitely a great game between these two schools. Rutgers was playing their heart out, and they just couldn't finish it off. Grunkemeyer looked pretty great. Great. So, obviously, it's a great one. Penn State's defense, despite letting up 36 points, stiffened at the end of the game. They got a touchdown to win it. It was 33-36. I believe it was a scoop and score. Yep, 4th-and-1 stop to secure it. So, an offensive game ends in defense. So, obviously, Penn State was more known for their defense, and they didn't show up today until the end. So that's all they needed. So Penn State, that's what matters. And now they're going to get a bowl game. Obviously, Penn State 6. This is the best 6-6 team in the nation, because obviously Penn State has still got all that talent to, even make a natty run. Obviously, they're not going to, but if they had a kind of coach like James Franklin, maybe they could make the playoffs. No, I'm just kidding. He's sold. Yeah. But Penn State, they're 6-6. And now we've got bowl games. So what's going to happen is that Aaden's going to join us. He's our cameraman. And we're going to both predict these games. I'll go first. James Madison is top 25 in the nation for the first time ever. Yeah. James Madison, top 25 for the first time in the nation as Aaden hits the screen. They take on Troy, 23.5 favorites. I think the key, you have to stop Barrett right here. Can you stop him? That's the main thing. James Franklin and Troy, you don't got to erase it. It's fine. There's an X at the top. But we're working with it. This is our first time. But 7 o'clock, this is the Sun Belt Championship. James Madison wins. They maybe are in. I'm taking the Dukes. I would be shocked if Troy comes out here and wins this game. So I think it'll be closer than 23.5, but we're going to hand it over to Aaden. What do you got? Sun Belt Championship.
Sun Belt Championship, obviously this is a great game. Friday, 7 o'clock on ESPN. I'm going to agree with Kolstin. I just think James Madison is too loaded, and compared to what Troy is, they're going to go from the Cheez-It Bowl to the Pop-Tart Bowl with this win. It doesn't matter. James Madison, I think, has a very realistic chance of making the college football playoffs, and this game means a lot. 23.5-point favorites, like he said. 8-0 in conference play. They're one loss. I don't know who it's to. It's probably to some SEC school. But, I think James Madison, I think this is the safest pick of the whole week. I just really like James Madison to pull out the victory and crown themselves as Sun Belt champions.
So for once, I actually agree with Aaden. So we're going to see if that continues as I drop the marker so we don't talk about that. Don't worry, we've got another. So next up, it's going to be the American. I'm not going to pick up the marker on the ground. That's going to be kicked to the side. So we've got North Texas and Tulane. North Texas, 2.5-point favorites. We'll see. Do these two teams on the top of the American get the American win? Most likely, because of what's happened around the league. Whoever wins this game is probably getting an automatic bid. So this is going to be a very good one. Now, my personal pick, Tulane has to stop this man right here. Near 4,000 yards, Messmaker, almost 30 touchdowns passing. This obviously a big one. That's going to lead to see me taking North Texas. Obviously, they are the favorites. Tulane, I feel like, has a little bit more talent, but their pass D is not great. To give me North Texas here in a shootout.
North Texas is one of the best offenses in college football. Kolstin loves talking about them. I'd like to point out this. The over-under for this game is 66.5. That is one of the highest totals you might see all year. But I'm going to agree with Kolstin. I really like this North Texas team. I think they're going to punch their ticket into the CFP. I think they're going to be the 11th seed. That's my hot take. I don't think they're going to be the 12. I think the 12 seed is going to go to the ACC champion. But I think North Texas, 11 seed, college football playoff bound.
I don't need both markers, but thank you for being so kind. Great hands by me, I know. But we're going to head on. Next one, my Boise State Broncos are favorited against UNLV. This is, I believe, where things are going to get divisive. Now, I'm pretty biased when it comes to Boise. I'm not going to lie. But I genuinely think even if we did not have Madison, who is slated to return, by the way, our franchise quarterback, as I try to get my marker to my other hand, that's going to be the difference. He had 2,000 passing yards, and he left he had half the season. So you multiply that, he's got 1,000 yards more than UNLV. That's the difference. Can Maddox shake off the rust and get him a win here? If Boise wins, there's still a chance they're in the college football playoffs. UNLV is more of a running school than a passing school, and our run D is not great. So we're going to see if they can get themselves the win. UNLV Boise, I know it's bias. I'm taking the Broncos at home. The blue field, we're going to see, can the stadium be rocking? Obviously, a lot of teams, because, we see Boise State 8-4. You see these other teams 9-3. They're not in, and we are. I can't complain, but I understand the hatred. I'm giving me Boise. I think this will be a close game, however. We'll see, though. Can the Broncos get the Mountain West Championship?
Not so fast, Kolstin. I really think the rust is going to hit Maddox right here. By the way, this is a joke of a conference having an 8-4 team in over 2 9-3 teams. It's a travesty what the Mountain West is doing. But, congrats to Kolstin. Congrats on the Broncos for making it. But that's all they're doing. Give me the UNLV Rebels to get their revenge from last year, punch their ticket as Mountain West champions.
Yeah, differing opinions. I kind of saw that coming. I remember you said a couple nights ago that you thought UNLV would take down Boise. I disagree, but we'll see what happens. That's the one I'm going to watch. That's going to be on Fox, getting a night game on Friday. So, kind of weird. We head 12 o'clock, the Big 12 Championship. This, a revenge game for BYU. The difference is that I believe they're at AT&T Stadium, Texas Tech's home. So this is going to be a tough one for BYU. Once again, it's going to come down to, can Bear come up clutch? Last time against Texas Tech, he couldn't do it. Texas Tech's defense was too good. And obviously, I think Texas Tech may have the best defense in the entirety of the nation. But this might be a shocker. I'm taking BYU. I think they do get the revenge. I think Texas Tech over the past few weeks has looked just a little bit weaker. I think that's, a source of who they've been playing. It's been tougher teams than BYU. But BYU has been looking feisty. TCU, they blew out. That's a great team, and I believe 8-4. I just think BYU, this is their chance to prove. Can you make the playoffs? I think the committee, if BYU loses this game, they take them out. And I think Texas Tech is still in with a loss. So this is a bigger game for BYU. They want a chance to win. I think this is their chance to do it. We'll see. That's a big one. Now over to Aaden.
Yeah, Kolstin knows this about me. I am super high on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I think this team could honestly be ranked number 2 heading into the first round of the playoffs. Give me Texas Tech. Their defense is so good. Their offense is well balanced. And, I mean, heck, you look right here, equal passing yards. And I bet Texas Tech is a better running game than the Cougars. 12.5-point favorites. Texas Tech dominated BYU in this first game out. And I see a similar result. Give me the Texas Tech Red Raiders to be the number 2 seed in the college football playoffs.
I will say Texas Tech does have a better running game than BYU statistically, but BYU is more of a committee. Texas Tech just has one main guy, but he's more explosive. So I will say I would give it to Texas Tech. Doesn't change my opinion. I'm still giving it to BYU, but obviously a big game for both sides. Another big game. This is where game day is going, and they're wrong, so whatever. This is obviously a big rivalry, Bama, Georgia. The only team, as I said earlier, that lost for Georgia was against Bama. So now they face off to try and get their revenge. I think the spread is 2.5. It's not on here because this smorgasbord is. So the spread is about even. The thing's about even. I'm going to be honest. Give me the Crimson Tide. I think Ty Simpson needs to have a big game if he wants to make the playoffs, because if Bama loses, 1,000% they're out. So, with 3 losses. Georgia could probably still get in with 2 losses, but it's going to be close. I think Bama needs this more. Technically, they're their home team. It's at a neutral site. I've seen in the SEC championship, if these 2 teams face off, usually Bama comes up clutch. Obviously, that's with Nick Saban most of the time. But still, Bama's got talent. Georgia's got talent. I like Gunnar Stockton more than Sampson. I think it's going to come down to Bama's running game. I think they've got a better one than Georgia. I think Bama wins it by 3 here to get themselves in the college football playoffs.
All right, Kolstin, that's a very good argument for Alabama. But let's talk about the Bulldogs. We talked about Texas Tech, how good their defense is. This defense is something special. Haynes King, who was a Heisman frontrunner heading into the season, clamped them down. Only allowed 9 points of offense. Alabama's coming off. Now, yes, it was the Iron Bowl, but they're coming off a really weak game against Auburn. Their offense was 27 points is good, but still, you'd expect more out of an explosive Alabama team. And that is the exact reason why I'm going with the Alabama Crimson Tide to win this game. I think Alabama has so much more to play for. They're going to come out with fight. I would not be shocked if Alabama drops 17 in the first quarter, because this game means so much more. Georgia gets in 100% with that 11-1 record. Alabama misses with a 10-3 record. This game means so much more to Alabama. Give me the Crimson Tide. And they punch their ticket as SEC champions.
So we're back to agreeing here. The SEC championship, Bama, Georgia, but the biggest one is yet to come. I never thought I'd be saying this, but the 2 undefeated teams left in college football are Indiana and Ohio State, and Indiana's favored. That's crazy to me. The spread does not say so. That says so. I think the Buckeyes in more spots are favored. But the fact the predictor has it this close shows how good Indiana has been. Now, I'm going to be honest. Whoever wins this game is going to be the Heisman and the 1 seed. I think Indiana has to still prove they're contenders at 12-0. I know that sounds crazy, but Penn State was 6-6, and they won by 3 against them. Obviously, Penn State's a great team. But Ohio State, going into halftime, obviously, a close game against Penn State, then they blew them out in the second half. I think Ohio State is a better contender. I think Indiana right now has more talent. That may sound crazy to say because the Buckeyes have Jeremiah Smith, Tate, all that. When it all comes down to it, are the Buckeyes more clutch than Indiana? I'm saying yes. I don't like this at all. I would rather see Indiana win. I think the bad guys take them. Sayin is going to be your Heisman if he wins this game. We're going to see, though. I think the Buckeyes, closer than people think, because some people think this is still going to be a blowout, the Buckeyes are still number 1. Aaden flipping the camera. He needs to see himself.
Gotta see my beautiful smile, of course. But heading into this game, the two undefeated teams, I don't know how College Game Day isn't here. That's 1 and 2 College Game Day goes there. Like you said, Fernando Mendoza, I think he's the Heisman favorite right now. But when you have a defense that's allowing 7 points a game, you can't go against them. Give me the Buckeyes. I think Fernando Mendoza gets overwhelmed. I'm not saying that he's a fraud and he can't compete in big games. I just think this Ohio State defense is going to pressure the heck out of Mendoza. Put him in pressure, put him in situations he hasn't been. I think this Ohio State team needs to start out hot. Don't let Indiana have some fight. But I think that's what the Buckeyes do best. I think they go out early and clinch the number 1 seed in the college football playoffs.
You can say hell. It's okay. We're PG, range of PG-13. We're not trying to, get an Oscar here. So, obviously, yeah. But Oregon's watching this game with bated breath because I believe if Indiana loses, actually whoever loses, I think the Buckeyes may not drop below them 4. But if Indiana loses, there's a chance Oregon gets a bye. They would love a bye. So, obviously, a close one. And we've still got one more if I can click it. The ACC. Now, this one's going to be a bit boring. But nobody's going to be watching this over Ohio State and Indiana. I'm going to be real. But this spread is super close because of this man right here, Mancia. He's been great. I watched his film. He's way better than Virginia's quarterback, Chandler Morris. I'm sorry, Chandler. I'm going to be honest. Can Virginia's defense stop Duke? That's what's going to come down to. Now, Boise could get in with a Duke win here. Now, am I saying that I'm picking Duke because Boise has a chance to get in? No. But I don't think Virginia is that good of a team. Their defense is shaky. Their offense is shaky. Duke's defense is terrible. Their offense is great. I think there's one clear winner here. Even the predictor here, almost 50-50. Obviously, Virginia still, favored by a good bit. But Duke got in off of basically a technicality. SMU, the loss to Cal, changed it up. So Duke is going to, I think they pull it out. They get the win over Virginia. They maybe get themselves into the college football playoffs. Just going to depend on how all the other games go. But in my opinion, they're 8-5. They take down Virginia and put themselves in a chance for the college football playoffs.
While Kolstin was doing that, I was just doing some research to make sure I saw everything that I needed to see right. I'm going to disagree with Kolstin here. I think it's going to be pretty bad. When these two teams played 3 weeks ago, Virginia was up 31-3 heading into the fourth quarter. It was a blowout. Duke made it kind of close, 34-17. I just think Virginia is just too well-rounded. Duke has, yes, they have this amazing quarterback who can throw for a lot of yards. It won't matter. I think Virginia is going to Virginia has a lot more to play for. I think if Duke wins this game, they're not in. I think the Sun Belt winner, I think the AAC winner is going to get in. I think they're going to pick a 12-1 James Madison over an 8-5 Duke team who has lost to this Virginia team in the regular season pretty bad. So I think Virginia is going to win this game and consider that final spot locked up for the Cavaliers.
Obviously, agree to disagree. I don't hate it. I just think, I'm going to be honest, I still think Miami is probably the best team in this conference. Obviously, they didn't make the championship, but I think the championship game is kind of flawed in a way. So, we'll see, though. If Virginia wins... Yeah. I just think... Yeah. I think Virginia, obviously, they win, they're in. I would rather see Miami in this game. Because if Miami was winning this game, I'm picking Miami. They look great. So, obviously, that's going to be the last championship game. I'll keep the marker in hand because there is more later. But it's probably Aiden's favorite slide in the entire thing. The Packers with the win, and I don't get to talk about it. Hear from the Packers fan himself.
Jordan Love proved why he's a top 10 quarterback in the league with this performance today. Green Bay needed to score a lot of points, and they scored 3 points early. They scored the first 10 points. Detroit never had the lead in this game, even though it was close. Matt LaFleur, I usually flame Matt LaFleur for his coaching. He went for it. He did better than Dan Campbell at Dan Campbell's own game. 3 for 3 on fourth downs. 2 of those were for touchdowns. 1 was for the game-winning play to seal out the final drive. God, I love Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is so good. He is one of the few players, I think, in the 20th century that you got to focus your whole game plan on. And, I mean, Rashawn Gary completely slept on under the shadow of Micah Parsons. Green Bay's got a really tough test against Chicago. It's going to be a great game. I think the winner of that game is going to win the NFC North. I think Detroit's out of it. Detroit has a must-win Thursday against Dallas. That's going to be an interesting game. I just think Green Bay has – people are saying that week 1 was a fluke. That's not a fluke. Thank you.
You don't need to say thank you. It's not a press. When I like to give my take on it, as you said, LaFleur played better in Dan Campbell's own game. So, obviously, there's still people saying Green Bay's a fluke. I'm going to hop off that train. I think they're legit. I think this is a great win. I think we did predictions yesterday. I think Detroit still makes it in. I think they still have Super Bowl aspirations. That sounds crazy, but I still think they're a very dangerous team. They definitely – whoever loses that game is cooked. So, we'll see what happens. This obviously a great game for Green Bay. You win against Chicago next week, it changes everything. They could have a shot at the 1 seed. So, we will talk about it. Speaking of Dallas, this apparently the most viewed game in the entirety of NFL history. I don't get it. I'm going to be honest. I thought these are the two biggest teams right now because it's Dallas and KC. But I mean, really? Of all games? Obviously, this was a great game, but Dallas was in control for 3 quarters. Obviously, the short score doesn't really represent it, but the Chiefs weren't doing anything. And Dallas, obviously, George Pickens did the big catch at the end of game thing. That's just like his thing now, I guess. But KC, once again, is a tough task. They go back home, play Houston. They've looked great these past few weeks. Dak, he heads, obviously, Thursday night, a short week, going to Detroit. So that's going to be a tough one. And then next week, once again, they play the Chargers in L.A. So it's going to be a tough sledding for Dallas, even if they lose one of those games, because they're already 6-5-1. Now, I have heard speculation that some people think that Dallas will overtake Philly for the NFC East. I do not believe that. But it's not – the lead is too big, first of all, but I don't think that's completely insane because Philly's not looked great. If they can definitely lose to a lot of teams that they shouldn't. So Dallas, a great win, 3-point win. I think Mahomes outplayed Dak, but at the end of the day, doesn't matter because they had too big of a lead through 3 quarters. Obviously, 6 points doesn't sound like a lot, but Dallas scored a touchdown in the fourth to start it out. So they had a 2-possession lead in the fourth. Mahomes can do a lot of stuff. Can he bring his team back from 6-6? Philly has not looked great. I genuinely thought Philly was going to make it back to the Super Bowl with how they played last year. Yeah, there's no shot. I don't know who's representing the NFC. I think probably the Rams, but neither team I think played great. I think Caleb outplayed Hurts despite the box score because Philly's game plan on offense right now is run up the middle with Saquon, chuck deep ball to A.J. Brown, punt. They get great defense. Run up the middle with Saquon, rinse and repeat. I think Philly, they need to change their game plan if they want to win literally any big game because right now they're looking like frauds. I wouldn't say they're frauds yet because they are still 8-4 and I believe the 2 seed, but you got to kick it into high gear if you want the 1 seed because now you're behind Chicago in terms of record, Green Bay. You need it. You need it really bad right now. You need to get a big win. The 2 games A.J. Browns did really well. They've lost both. Is that a sign? Probably not. But their offense needs a jump start. Obviously, the defense didn't play well today, but we'll talk about it. But even in this game where Chicago scored 24, the defense did enough. They got 2 turnovers, and Hurts threw a pick, and he did not capitalize on most drives. So, Philly, you got to win. Speaking of Houston, we were just talking about them. I think they're going to win the AFC South. Maybe that's crazy. I think they look like the best team through it. I have the Colts winning 1 game left in their season. So, obviously, they could prove me wrong, but I just think Daniel Jones doesn't have it. There's an it factor in a lot of these great quarterbacks. Daniel Jones does not have that it factor. I don't think Stroud really does either to an extent, but I think Stroud is better than Daniel Jones still. So, it's a great win for Houston going into Indy. Indy still holds the lead in this division, but Jacksonville is 8-4. Jacksonville does have it. Well, that's not good because the AFC is super good. I think this is kind of this is a rough division because you could have 3 teams fighting for it. Yeah, I was not expecting that, but Houston, I think ever since and the Titans, I'm sorry RBT, but ever since that, Texans-Bills game, Texans are on the rise. I think they look great. Obviously, they are one of the hottest teams. They need to keep winning, however. They go to KC next week. Can you knock KC down to 6-7 and get a big win and go to 8-5? Because the Colts, the Colts have a tough schedule the rest of the year. I don't think the Jags are a very good team, I'm going to be honest. I think they're going to trip up at some point. But, we'll see. Houston, a great win for them. We'll see if that continues. This was the shock of the week. I had to go rake some leaves while this game was happening, so I did not see the ending. I saw Puka Nakua's catch. That was something. You can see it right there. That was something. That's a catch. That's a catch and a half, which is crazy. But Carolina, I still don't know if they're good. I still think they're probably going to miss the playoffs because the NFC is also tough. Any playoff spot right now is super tough to get. So, Carolina, I don't think they have the firepower, even though they scored 31. I don't think they have the firepower to keep this up. Maybe they do. Maybe they win the NFC South and the Bucs get out. Who knows? They play each other. They play each other twice still, so it's definitely possible. But, they lost to the Saints, so kind of telling. and beat the Rams in 2 weeks, by the way. That's just crazy to me. Miami they lost to, I believe. And beat the Rams. Just doesn't make any sense. But good for Carolina. I mean, Stafford finally threw a pick. He actually threw 2 of them. Yeah. But Bryce Young outplayed him. You can see on the box score, that's what led to the victory, those 2 turnovers. One of those picks was a pick 6. That also, big difference. So, easily game of the week in terms of the NFL. We'll talk about the Denver game. I don't think it was better than this, although it was a great game. The Bucs are on fraud watch. I think Jacoby Brissett is putting the Cardinals in a spot where they're going to get rid of Kyler. I don't think Brissett will probably be the starter next year. But Jacoby Brissett is outplaying you. You need to do something. And obviously, they've said multiple times, once Kyler comes back, he's not getting the starting spot. So, obviously, Jacoby, I just picked up in fantasy, so let's hope he does well against the Rams next week. But, yeah, well, Bryce Young. So, the Bucs get another big win. Bucky Irving touchdown. So, our Lord and Savior is back. Baker played the game manager role and won it. Jacoby Brissett outplayed him. I don't care if he had a pick. He outplayed him. So, this was a close game throughout. Kind of slept on game because the Rams game was going on. So, obviously a good win for Tampa, especially since the Panthers are, 7-6. So, you still need to fight for that division. So, that's big. I think Carolina is on a bye. So, this is where I can talk about my team. This game was scary at halftime. It was 7-7, and then we killed them in the second half. There's no other way to put it. Geno Smith threw another pick. I think he leads the NFL, and it's not even close. So, I think, obviously, Herbert getting injured is very bad because we play Philly. He is day-to-day. We do get more time to rest, but obviously still, an injury to my franchise quarterback is not, it's keeping me awake at night. So, sorry. Herbert needs to come back, and we need Hampton back if we want to beat Philly, because I still think Philly's, on paper, a great team. They're just not playing well. I think we can beat Philly, coming off of what I just saw. We would need to play well like this again and keep it in.
There's a strong difference between the Raiders' defense.
Yeah, there's a very big defense. A very big defense. There's a very, very big difference in the defenses. Philly has a great pass D, and if you know, our offensive line is awful. So that's going to be something. We're going to see. Obviously, we've won 4 straight against the Raiders. So absolute bums. We own you. But Chargers win. We're 8-4. I still don't feel good about playoff spots. I think we could honestly still be the 7 seed at the end of the year. The 6 or 7 seed. So, but we'll see. Great second half, but we got to start out hot against Philly. This is the Denver game. No, I think the Rams were better. But I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say it. I think the Broncos are still frauds. I'm starting to hate on them again. Washington had an okay run game and just decided to not use it in the second half, just at all. Yeah, that was a catch. Apparently, he's getting overshadowed by Scary Terry and his look of death. So, the score, yeah. Mariota outplayed Bo Nix, plain and simple. I don't think Bo Nix has it as well. Drake May is not on here. I also don't think he has it.
No Drake May.
We're talking about Drake May somehow in the Broncos game. We're talking about the 2 biggest frauds. So, Washington obviously 3-9. Jaden Daniels has went on record and said he wants to come back. Please don't. I don't want you getting injured again. Yeah, just don't, because you're going to ruin your draft pick most likely, and then it's just going to be, cooked. So I would rather you not. Maybe they come back and they somehow make it in at 8-9, and Philly and Dallas just sell. Maybe that's how it works. But, yeah, I would be shocked. I don't want your kidney. But that would be shocking. Yeah, Washington, heartbreak. The go for 2 play, they had it. It was wide open. It got deflected at the line. He's something different. But the Broncos defense once again bails out Bo Nix. The refs really wanted Denver to win. I don't know if you could tell in overtime, but oh man, it was bad. I don't want to say it was rigged because it kind of went both sides, but it was. Yeah. Yeah, I think the refs were terrible this game, but Denver got the win, and it wasn't because of the refs. We're going back to predictions, and he gets to come back up in a second. This is do or die for both of these teams. Both teams, it's going to be a shootout, I feel like. You can see the over is 54.5. Obviously, this is as much as that North Texas game, but 54.5 is still a lot. They're in Detroit. I would say that's good for Detroit, but they've lost 2 straight at home, I believe, so I don't think it really means much. Dallas can still win the division. I did talk about that earlier. I wouldn't say it's super close, but it's pretty close. I mean, that's about 2 games. That tie could honestly screw Dallas out of a playoff spot. But Detroit is number 3 in the division because Chicago and Green Bay won. Obviously, Green Bay beat them. But it's a must-win game. When it comes down to it, does Dak have it? I'm going to say no. I'm still going to give it to Detroit. I think this game's obviously going to be close. Maybe the first good Thursday night game the entire year. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I would not be shocked if Dallas wins because Detroit does not look great at home. But let's see. Does Detroit have what it takes to get another win coming off a devastating loss to the Pack?
A great win by the Packers still. We'll talk about them and the Bears. This is a big game for Dallas. I think this is more important for Dallas than it is for Detroit. So I think Detroit can still lose this game and still make the playoffs. They play the Bears. They play the Rams. That's going to be a good game next week. Looking ahead 2 weeks from now. You say Dak doesn't have it? I'm going to disagree with you. I think Dallas on the road, they're the hottest team in football. I think I can confidently say that now. Because you just beat the 2 teams in the Super Bowl, one on a short week, and you beat Philly in your own house down 21-0. I think Dak has it. I think this game goes the over. I wouldn't be shocked if the key to this game is Amon-Ra St. Brown being out. I think also the key, Detroit's injuries is going to be the key. Their cornerbacks are way injured. Who's going to be guarding George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb? That's going to be the question, and I don't think Detroit has the answer. Detroit's going to fall to 7-6. It's going to kill their division hopes, and it's going to be a 2-horse race in the NFC North. Kolstin, back over to you.
I will say, Terrion Arnold just had season-ending surgery for something. I forget what it was. But, as you said, if Amon-Ra doesn't play, that makes it very tough for Detroit to win this game. I still think they win it. Let me preface this. But it's going to be a close game. This is going to be the best game of the week. I would bet on it, honestly. This game, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm giving it to Cincy. They needed a lot more than Buffalo. Obviously, Buffalo's 8-4. They're fighting for their division. Hell, they're fighting for the 1 seed. So it's a tough fight. Obviously, Buffalo is great at home. Their 1 loss to New England on Sunday night. This is going to be a great 1 o'clock game. You saw, obviously, Burrow isn't here, but he came back. He looked great. There was no rust on him. He could still win the division because this division is poverty.
It's a joke of a division. Except Cleveland.
Yeah, except Cleveland. They still are poverty. Sorry, Shador. But Cincy has a chance to win the division if they keep winning. This is easily their toughest game. If they win this game, there is a legitimate chance if Pittsburgh wins Week 18 against Baltimore, Cincy gets in. I think that's very likely. I'm giving myself Cincy. I'm going to say 31-28. This is going to be a high-scoring one. Can Buffalo beat Cincy at their own home?
Cincinnati, injured quarterback all year, gets his second game back, first game on the road at a tough environment with a good offense. Cincinnati's defense is going to struggle this game, but I don't think it'll be enough. Give me the Bengals to beat the Bills on the road. And if I saw something where the Ravens lose 2 games, Pittsburgh loses 2 games, Cincinnati wins out, they win the division. And these two play each other twice. Cincinnati plays Baltimore again. Cincinnati, I believe, plays Pittsburgh again. Cincinnati's path is very realistic to win the AFC North. I think Cincinnati gets it done. I think Jamar Chase is a really big game against a struggling Bills cornerback room. I would be shocked if both teams don't go over 30. With how it's just the Bengals. There's no other way to put it. It's the Bengals. So that is going to be my prediction. Cincinnati pulls it out in the game of the week.
As I said, I think this is going to be the best game of the entire slate. Obviously, this slate is probably the best one we've had all year in terms of records. So, this is just one of many. But this, obviously, a great game. Once again, this is for the lead in the AFC South because the Texans are still 7-5. Jacksonville is not favored. That's shocking to me. I think Lawrence, obviously, as of right now, Lawrence is playing better than Daniel Jones, but obviously JT is playing better than ETN. I think it's going to come down to, can the Jags stop JT? And the Jags have one of the best run Ds in the entirety of the NFL, apparently. They're top 5. I think the Colts go on a slide. I'm giving Jacksonville the lead in the AFC South. That makes it a lot tougher for Houston to make it. I still think, as of right now, Houston is the best team in the entirety of the AFC South, but it's going to be very tough, as of right now, for the Colts to even keep this alive because they play the Colts twice and the Texans once again. Give me Jacksonville at home.
Not so fast, Kolstin. Jonathan Taylor has looked like, I think, the best player in football. Now he's been on a downslide. But still, Jonathan Taylor is going to be Jonathan Taylor. I'd be shocked if he doesn't find the end zone twice. And a Colts win on the road at Jacksonville, cementing themselves as true contenders in the AFC South. I think this game's going to propel them to a division win. I just think Indianapolis has looked too good. I wouldn't be shocked if Lawrence throws a pick, maybe 2. I think this Colts cornerback room is very good. Hopefully Sauce comes back, so that's a big loss for them. Yeah, just give me the Colts. I think this game's going to be low scoring. I don't think both teams go over 20.
I was going to say 17-16 Jacksonville. I forgot to mention that. But I would like to say, as of right now, the Colts have a lot better of an offense than Jacksonville. But I think Jacksonville has a higher-ranked defense despite the points against. So this is going to be a very good one. There's so many good ones this week. We'll see who comes out on top. Speaking of two teams with the same record in the same division, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. This is going to come down to this man right here. Can he actually get it done? Because he's looked really bad these past few weeks. I think he's been on a downturn since that Chargers game. But I think it's going to come down to, can Rodgers get a great performance against a pretty mediocre defense? They're on the upturn, but it's going to come down to, can Rodgers get it done? No, absolutely not. I don't believe in Rodgers in this list. I think he's washed. He should retire. Obviously, I think 6-point favorites may be generous. I'm going to be honest. I would not smash the under. I would maybe smash this. I would not be shocked if Pittsburgh makes it this, so I wouldn't. There might be a better bet somewhere in here. But it's going to come down to, can Rodgers get it done? And right now, as I've seen, they haven't. I still think Cincy and Baltimore are the best two teams in this division. I think Pittsburgh will finish number 3, and we don't talk about Cleveland. So we're going to see here. This in Baltimore, obviously they're 3-4. These two teams right now, 6-6 for the lead in the division. Give me Baltimore.
I don't hate that take at all, but one thing I feel like you're forgetting, Kolstin, this is a big rivalry. This is a big rivalry right here, Kolstin. These two teams hate each other. I think it was a Pittsburgh Steeler. It might have been James Harrison. He said that these two teams should play at midnight in an alley. That's how much these two hate each other. Now, the rivalry has decreased in intensity, but I'm pretty sure this is Baltimore's last or second-to-last home game of the season. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to play really good against a struggling defense. And in a hot take, I think he does just enough. Pittsburgh goes on the road, wins at Baltimore, but I think in Week 18, Baltimore does the exact same thing. I think they go on the road, get the win. And that's going to leave Cincinnati a golden opportunity against Cleveland, which is that's their Week 18 opponent. I just think, I don't know. This is one where it's a gut feeling. I honestly think, this is going to be my hot take, Chris Boswell is going to win this game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's going to be a low-scoring, kind of grind it out. I think Pittsburgh's defense is going to oddly show up. I'm going to go 15-13 final score.
So you think Boswell hits 5 field goals to win it?
No, I think Boswell. I think he gets 1 or 2.
But as I would like to mention, I did not talk about this. Every single team in this division has negative points for or points against. Absolute joke of division. This is the worst division in football this year. And I thought Baltimore would be Super Bowl contenders. They are clearly not.
I had Baltimore, I think, winning the Super Bowl in my preseason predictions.
I had Detroit, Buffalo, and Detroit winning it. So as of right now, I technically still stand by that, but we might change that in the coming weeks. Here we go. I don't know if I want to start. I'll start, I guess. This is obviously Green Bay has owned Chicago for the past few years, but Chicago's coming off a win in this rivalry. I don't want to bet against the Pack because they are at home, but this is going to be, if Cincy's game is not close, this will be. I think Fox, by the way, has got like a great slate. They've got this, I believe it's the Jacksonville game, and they have another great game at 4 o'clock. I forget what it is. Or maybe there's none. I forget. No, it might be Rams-Cardinals. That game's not good. Never mind. But obviously, a close one. It's going to come down to who has a better running game. I think Chicago is a better committee. I think Jacobs is a better back than both of them. Obviously, Jacobs is one of the best in the league. By the way, Jacobs signing with Green Bay has been like the best decision for them, like the entirety of LaFleur's career, I feel like. No, I guess, well, that's more GM. But I think it's going to come down to also who has turnovers. As of right now, Love has a better touchdown-to-pick ratio, but I think Chicago is more conservative with the ball. I don't know how that works out that he has more picks. It's going to come down to turnovers. It's going to come down to the run game. Jacobs obviously returned to last week. He didn't look great. He didn't look bad. So I think he'll be at – he wasn't 100%, I don't think. I think he's going to be at 100% this game. He might have been on a snap count, but I have a feeling I know who you're going to pick. I'm going to say the Pack. I would not be shocked if Chicago wins, but I don't think they do in Lambeau.
This game's in Lambeau. It's 4:25. Projecting to be 5 degrees at kickoff. Brr, that's cold. This is the thing with Chicago. They started out 1-2. They've won 8 of their last 9 games. They are the hottest team in football. Caleb Williams, he's looked The run game, Kyle Monangai has looked stupendous so far in the games that he's played. DeAndre Swift, they ran all over the Eagles defense, which we scored 7 points on, and a joke of a game. But do you really think I'm going to pick Little Brother? Do you guys really think I'm going to pick Little Brother? Give me the Green Bay Packers to win at home against Little Brother Bears. And this is going to be a good game. I think the difference maker, he's been the difference maker the last couple weeks, Micah Aaron Parsons. He's going to get 2 sacks on Caleb. He's owned the NFC North. He's gotten 2 sacks against both quarterbacks that he's played against, Jared Goff and J.J. McCarthy. But the Pack is back. They're going to win the NFC North. They're going to be the 2 seed. And I wouldn't be shocked if they host Chicago in the first round.
I'm not shocked. I would like to preface this. If Micah Parsons' real middle name is Aaron Rodgers, Micah Aaron Parsons. I'm just saying. I just tell the news. But I think this could be a great game. As I said, I'm going with Green Bay. I think Chicago makes it closer than what Aaden is trying to say. I feel like he says like 14 plus. But I think Green Bay, obviously, it's going to come down to, as I said, turnovers, running game. Sunday night, once again, the Sunday nights have been kind of disappointing. It's been great matchups and a poor performance. So maybe it's just how Sunday night goes. They just always have poor performances. Both of these run games are absolutely awful. Obviously, I'm taking Mahomes over Stroud right now, and that's why I'm picking the Chiefs. They're so great at home, 5-1, but they're terrible away. Houston, as you can see, is pretty iffy away, 3-3. I kind of got rid of half of it there, but you get my point. I think Houston, in terms of the division, needs it more, but the Chiefs right now are out. I can't believe I'm saying that, but if they lose this game, which they are favored by about 65%, they are in a dire need of some help. So it's going to come down to it. Can Stroud become clutch? He's not looked great this year. He's looked iffy at times. He wasn't great against Tennessee. Mahomes, I think, would do fantastic against Tennessee. I don't think this game's going to be, honestly, particularly close. The Chiefs need a win, and they get it on Sunday night.
Patrick Mahomes has been the MVP multiple times over the last couple of seasons. Oh, my God, we're getting Chris Collinsworth and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, Lord.
I just realized that. But, the Chiefs, like Kolstin said, 5-1 at home. This game means a lot to the Chiefs if they want any shot at the AFC West. But even a playoff spot, like Kolstin said. But who is one of the hottest teams in the NFL? The Houston Texans. Who has a top two, I'd say top two defense in the league right now? The Houston Texans. Who is going to go into Arrowhead and pull out with a road victory? The Houston Texans win it 20-17. I think Mahomes is going to throw 2 picks this game. I think Stroud's going to look all right. I bet Woody Marks goes for not 200. I bet he goes for like 115, 2 touchdowns. I just think Houston has looked too hot. And especially with one of these two teams losing, they play each other. This is one of those games where it's like, surely the Chiefs get the win. Yeah. I don't think so. I just think Houston's defense has looked stellar, the best in football over these last couple weeks, ever since that Josh Allen game. Yeah, give me the Texans on the road in the upset of, I'd argue, the winter so far. Hot take.
Obviously, winter's been pretty short, but still, I think KC's too good at home to lose this game. I would be shocked if Houston wins this game. I'm sorry, Houston fans. I don't think there's many of you, I'll be real. But Chiefs are favored. I think they come out with a win. This is the game I'm really worried about. Oh, this is a scary one.
Okay. Philly goes on the road at L.A. Kolstin's Chargers against half the school's Philadelphia Eagles. Kolstin, if you wear a Chargers shirt, you might get jumped here. I think Herbert's going to play. I'm not sure about Hampton. I don't think Hampton will. I think they're going to ease his injury, especially with being 8-4 in I'm going to say, weaker AFC than the NFC. On the road, cross-country, give me the Los Angeles Chargers. I think this game is going to come down to a defensive drive. Can the Chargers shut down Jalen Hurts in the offense? I think they'll be able to. I really like the Chargers' defense, especially their pass defense. Am I right on that, Kolstin? You guys have a really good pass defense? I'm pretty sure. Philly, I think they're going to try and do that same game plan. Run, pass, punt. It's not going to work. I think the Chargers are ready, especially with that extra day off. Now, take in mind, if Justin Herbert does not play, which they're saying as if he's going to play, I'm picking Philly. I think Philly wins by 10+ if you guys have Trey Lance. No hate towards Trey Lance, but I like the LA Chargers to keep a win and keep the fight in the AFC West on. Now, let's see what the Chargers fans has to say about this game.
Oh, boy. I'm really worried about this game. If you couldn't tell by what I was saying, the spread right now is dead even. So, it doesn't say, but it was dead even, I promise you. This game is the biggest one for the Chargers out of the entirety of the season. It's not even close. If you win this game, we're probably in the playoffs. So, at least in my opinion, with what I'm seeing. The loss to Jacksonville is what's scaring me, which may sound random. Jacksonville had a great defense and not so great offense. That is exactly what Philly is. Straight to the bone. I think if Herbert plays, this is a really close game. Hampton is supposed to play, by the way, which is a big help. I think it will be a committee. I think Vidal will get some carries. But, as you said, they're going to ease him in. But if there's any game, I don't think it'll happen. If there's any game to be a tie, it's probably this one. I think this is going to be like a 17. I know. If we were to have another tie, it probably would be like 17-17 this one. But I got to be honest. Philly's offense has looked awful. Absolutely awful. I think if the Chargers get one turnover, they win this game. And we've got one turnover every single game we've played, besides Jacksonville. So, yeah, the game we lost by 30, we did not get a turnover. We've gotten one turnover in each game besides that. This is going to be a really close game. They're the same record. Obviously, disregard the home field because our home field advantage is awful. It's absolutely atrocious. And plus, yes, Eagles fans travel well. Now, am I saying that we're going to not be able to hear? No, we're going to be fine. But we're not going to have a home field advantage by any sense of the word. this is a big game. I would not be shocked if we lose this game because obviously Herbert's treating an injury. If Herbert did not get injured, I think I would probably be a lot more confident in picking the Chargers. But he got injured against the Raiders. Jesus. But I think if we had Trey Lance, we may have beat the Raiders. but obviously it's a big one. Chargers Philly. I'm picking my Chargers. I can't bet against them, obviously. But this is a big one for both sides. I wouldn't say the Chargers are on a slide, but, I mean, we've been feeling kind of off. Even with the Raiders, it was 7-7 at halftime. So it's a big one for both sides. We head to the NBA as my cropping skills get worse as we go on because I was getting tired in the middle of the night. Sixers. The Nets suck. Obviously, we're going to beat the Nets. I would hope we beat the Nets. Yeah, we beat the Nets. I mean, this doesn't really mean anything.
It was a cup game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a nothing burger of a game. It's the freaking Nets, and then we lose in double overtime because we didn't try. I think we ran out of gas. That's the only other way to put it. Maxey tried his hardest to win this game. He tried to clutch. VJ with 7 points is really sad. I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, he only played 21 minutes, but you gotta be able to have more than 7 points in 21 minutes. That's a point every 3 minutes, which is not good, especially for VJ Edgecombe with how he's been playing. Obviously, he's trading an injury, but, man, if you're going to put up 7, you might as well just stay out. I'm going to be honest. This was a game that the Sixers, I mean, yeah, the Hawks, I mean, obviously, they outscored us in the fourth. We won a third quarter, and then we lost the fourth, of course. Yeah, but I think obviously the Hawks are a good team, not a great team, kind of like us. But this is a devastating loss. But, it be what it be. And then we bounce back against probably the second worst team in the league. So, once again, I don't think it means much. Oh, boy. Probably Washington in 7. I'm going to be real. I think they're both awful. I think Michael Porter Jr. holds the ball too long. That's the difference. But C.J. McCollum played great. The problem is the rest of his team just sucks. It's just terrible. So, the Washington Shitzers, whatever. We're PG-13 for a reason. Sixers win, woohoo. But now we get to predict again. I'm not even going to just... Obviously, Curry's out for this game. He's been out for a little while. Without Curry, Washington's offense is terrible. They have to rely on their Golden State, sorry. Their defense is not great. Their top defender is Al Horford. He's 38. He's also out for this game, by the way. So, I mean, Al Horford, Jackson Davis, he can play center. He's out. It's just not going to be a good game for the Warriors. They've been on a slide because they're not good without Curry, I'll be honest. Plus, they're 4-8 away, and we're at home. So, I would honestly be kind of shocked if we lose this game. If Curry was in, I think we do honestly lose because Curry's just so clutch against us for some reason. But give me the Sixers, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep it simple. I'm picking the Sixers as well. I could probably play center for the Golden State Warriors this game. But, yeah, give me the Sixers. They'll go 7-6 at home. 76ers. I'm hilarious. I dropped my marker. I don't care. But I just really like the Sixers in this game. If Joel Embiid were to ever drop another 70-point game, I think it'd be that night. Because, I mean, heck, like you said, all of these guys, it's not going to work, but all these guys, Golden State's injured. Golden State's healthy. They beat us. I think they beat us pretty bad, to be honest. Give me the Sixers.
Don't worry, we'll keep the predictions going, but I'm not shocked. I'm going to give you your marker back. Hopefully that didn't break. But I think the Sixers I think they keep it clean. They win this game. Not much said. Now this is a much bigger one. Giannis, obviously, he's shooting 64%. That's ridiculous. Obviously, Maxey's out playing him because that's my GOAT. We are in Milwaukee. Now, we did beat Milwaukee in overtime the first time in Milwaukee. Yeah. Well, Giannis takes so long on the free throw, he probably just misses it on purpose. So, this obviously a big one. The Bucks are 6-6 at home. They're on a bit of a slide. Give me the Sixers again. I think this is a lot closer than the Warriors game because they have their big man here. But I forget his name. It's the shooting Ryan I was going to say Ryan. I forget his last name. He's looked great, the shooting guard. If he has a good game, I think they can definitely beat us. But this is going to come down. Can Maxey and the rest of the squad, that's what I'm calling them now, the Goon Squad, can they get another win in a close game? And I think they can. I don't think the Bucks have a great defense besides Giannis. Give me the Sixers. They win once again. I say 2 in a row.
Kolstin, we're going to disagree, my apologies, for the first time in this NBA slate. The only reason, we go from home to on the road in a back-to-back game. This is going to be a really tough. I think we're going to be tired. I wouldn't be shocked if we have a really bad fourth quarter. Trenton Warford, our power forwards, out. Quentin Grimes, Joel Embiid are both going to be good to go. I think Giannis is going to have a field day, especially with our power forward being out. I can't believe he has a better field goal percentage and free throw shooting. That's something Nikola Jokic could do. I love Nikola Jokic, but that's besides the point. If Philadelphia's going to win this game, it's going to be because Embiid needs to lock up Antetokounmpo. That's the only way I think this happens, and I just don't think Embiid. I'm not going to say he doesn't care enough, but I mean he doesn't play half the games. No hate towards Embiid. I think he's a great guy, but yeah, just give me Milwaukee. That's it. I think Milwaukee gets a big win at home, trying to make sure that Giannis stays because there are some rumors Giannis might be leaving.
Obviously, I think Giannis, half of that is also him leaving. He might not even play. Maybe he'll hold out. Obviously, I'd be shocked. It's like 2 days from now. But we head on. Sixers, Lakers. Now, no shot. Luka by himself would probably be the Sixers. He's looked so freaking good. Disregard the field goal percentage. But I think this is atrocious right here. The Sixers should have 38% odds. The Lakers have looked so good for some reason. They've got a big three in Luka, Braun, and Reeves. And they just need a big man. Like someone like, I don't know, Anthony Davis. But obviously getting Luka is a better trade. But this game is not going to be particularly close. This is why I think they win the Bucks game, because I think I wouldn't bet against them twice. But this is... Marcus Smart is back. He's a great backup guard. This isn't going to be close. Give me the Lakers.
You know, Kolstin, you couldn't have said it better yourself. I think the Lakers win this game by 20-plus on the road. Luka Doncic is looking like the second-best player right now. I'd say he's third right now in overall play because Wemby's injured. Right now, if I had to rank, I'd go Jokic, Wemby, Luka. My top 3 players, no Americans. It's nice. But, yeah, Marcus Smart's coming back. I think he could honestly maybe even start over A. Reeves because he's just that good. You saw what he did over in Boston. Now he's in L.A. and he's healthy. I don't know who's going to be injured for the Sixers. It's like spin the wheel. You're not playing this game. And that's why the Sixers will fall to 7-7 at home. Now, Kolstin, let's talk about some college basketball. Or NHL, I lied.
College basketball goes last because not many people think about it. There's only one NHL game we're going to talk about because if we were to do all of them, it would be like 10 games. I don't want to do that. So, Penguins, Flyers. Once again, the Penguins come out on top. Actually, not once again. They lost last time. But still, this one looked a lot better. But, I mean, the Flyers, I think they were coming off a game. So, obviously, it's kind of tough to win 2 in a row. But I'm not mad. I like the Penguins more than the Flyers. I don't hate the Flyers. Yes, I know you hate the Flyers. But we played great. We outplayed them. Obviously, we won by 4 goals. I mean, but I'm going to show you. Penguins got a tough schedule. Not this next one. But that sure is. But I'm just going to head straight into it. The Penguins look great. We'll talk about them. This is a Flyers win. I think the Sabres are way underrated, especially for their record, but the Flyers look so good sometimes, and they look so bad. They really just – it comes down to this man right here. Does he want to play? Trevor. If he wants – I mean, you can see he's even top in assists. So, if he comes to play, I think they can probably beat literally anyone besides maybe probably the Avalanche because they have 1 loss in regulation, which is crazy to me, but they're terrible in overtime. Yeah, but – no, but this one is tonight. I made these slides last night, so that's actually tonight at 7. I don't know if I'll watch it. But, obviously, I think the Flyers, I think this is only a 1-goal win because Buffalo is a lot underrated. But, I mean, the Flyers could be the best team in the league or bottom 5. So, just kind of depends. We'll see. Can the Flyers get back to their winning ways?
Kolstin said it best. I think they do. Buffalo is terrible on the road. They're 2-6-2. I can go 2-6-2 on the road. Obviously, I'm kidding. I'd go better than that, but yeah, I just think Philly gets a nice bounce back win. They've lost their last 2 games to the Devils and the Penguins, both pretty bad losses. So I think Philadelphia gets a nice bounce back. I'm gonna go 4-2 final score prediction. I feel a lot more confident in picking these games than basketball.
That's definitely true. I don't want to. Yeah, I think basketball is a lot more unpredictable. Although the NHL can be definitely unpredictable, but the Flyers get the win here. Yeah, no, absolutely not. The Lightning they're on a hot streak right now, and I mean they only allow like maybe 2-3 goals a game. This is not right. He allows like 4. I'm sorry, Jari, but we need good goal play if we're gonna beat the Lightning, and I don't think we're gonna have it because we lost 7-2 to the. Oh, I forget their names. It's the Blue something, but no, it's not the Blues. It's Maple Leafs. I don't know why I'm thinking blue. I'm thinking blue probably because of the Lightning. I think the Penguins maybe make it to the third period at like 1-1, and then the Lightning just decimate. So I think the Lightning are a very good team. They're natty contenders. So do I think they make it? No, but they're definitely better than the Penguins at home.
Pittsburgh on the road against one of the best teams in the NHL. It's every reason they shouldn't win. But to be honest, I think Pittsburgh goes on the road and loses in overtime to the Lightning. I think the Lightning have a great third period, like Kolstin said. I wouldn't be shocked if the Penguins are up heading into the third period, like 2-1 maybe. Lightning tie it, and then the Lightning win in overtime. That's just what the Lightning do. 16-8-2. They don't have a lot of overtime losses, like the Penguins 5. It's like double, and they have 3 of them are on the road. Just give me the Lightning in a closer one. I think Kolstin's a little bit overreacting, but he usually does that, but that's okay. All right, Kolstin, next game here. I'm going to actually go ahead. I'm taking over the show. I can't do anything right. I'm going to stop taking over the show. Over to Kolstin.
Yeah, you use your finger, not the mic, But we're back to the Flyers. They take it from the Avalanche. This is the best team in the NHL right now. I'm not betting against them. This is the best player in the NHL right now. I'm not playing against him. This is the best player in the NHL. I'm not betting against them. They win. I'm not even going to preface this. The Flyers are not going to beat the best player of the best team. It's just no.
I agree with Kolstin 1,000%. I wouldn't be surprised if the Flyers lose this game by 3 or more. What shocks me? 6 points per game? I don't know what the MVP. Give it to him already. Avalanche by 5. No other way to put it. Just Avalanche by 5. I'm actually going to take over this time because I did it right. Penguins at Dallas. Dallas is looking really good. 8-4-1 at home. Jason Robertson leading the team in goals. 5 points per game. Crosby a 7. But you know what? I think the Penguins bounce back here. I think they're going to get an upset win on the road against the Dallas Stars. I don't think Dallas has that great of a home ice advantage. I just think this game's going to be on Sunday. So, the Dallas Cowboys play on Thursday. So ignore what I said. Pittsburgh wins by 1.
If there was one game to go into a shootout, I'm picking this one. I think this is going to be a very good game. I think Dallas is a tad bit overrated. They're still a good team. Let's not get that straight. They're 17-5-5. But they're kind of winning games off of, not technicalities, but in close games. I don't think Jason Robertson is as good as ESPN thinks. I think the Penguins win this. I think it's close. I think it's maybe a 2-point win, maybe 1. It does not go to overtime. If it goes to overtime, Dallas does win. But I don't think it will. So the Penguins are going to get the win here. They go back to their winning ways. And, they've got such a tough schedule. I don't think I have all of it on here. But, we keep it going. We go into basketball. We go way back in time because there were so many good games. I only did the biggest ones, but this is obviously still a big one. For some reason, I looked at Bama's schedule. They're just picking, like, even in the games they don't need to do, they're picking, like, the best teams to play. I love that personally. It makes for some great basketball to watch. But this was a one that they just dominated in the second half. It doesn't look that way, but Illinois tried to make it close in the end. They didn't really try. It's the first time this year an SEC team beat a Big Ten team. So, obviously, Bama, Gus, we'll talk about them, I think, 3 times. So, they get the win here over Illinois. They were jumping to number 12. This was the biggest game in the entirety of the slate. This is 2 natty contenders facing off. I think UConn is more defensive. Arizona's more offensive. Offense won it today. They say defense wins championships. Not in this one. Defensive battle, 6-7. Defensive battle, I think Arizona just slightly edged them out here. If there were to be a third quarter, it might be tied. I'm going to be honest. These 2 teams were going back and forth. It was just the UConn had a slightly worse 3-point game. That was the difference. So, Kona Pete is really good. The box score doesn't show it, but, I mean, he had a double-double. So, even that name that I'm not going to try to pronounce almost had a double-double. So, you can try, but I'm not even going to try. Speaking of Bama, they're back again. Gonza is once again, I think they're going to make March. You get my point. The Bulldogs. Whatever. Gonzaga, whatever. Akuna Matata. I think they're going to make March Madness because they look really good right now. We will talk about them again. Bama dropped the second one. This is why they got dominated in the second half. 7 points is a big difference, especially in only 2 periods. Yeah, but I think the Bulldogs may be the hottest team in college basketball. So we'll see. Obviously, Bama playing these tough teams. My cropping skill is just immaculate. But this was technically an upset at the time. Obviously, Tennessee looks a lot better now. They're 7-0. But they took down Houston. I think you said this was your team to win the Natty or something. It was. No, absolutely not. They looked horrible this game. You can see the second half wasn't even close. They had a 4-point lead and blew it. That's a lot, especially for, 2 great teams supposed to be playing against each other. No, Tennessee won. Yeah, they did lose. We will talk about it. But Houston did not come up to play in the second half. They played great in the first half, but you got to have a better second half. I think that's the more important half. They just didn't show up like at all. I'm not betting on Houston to win it. Absolutely not. They may not even make the Elite 8 from what I saw. So, speaking of Tennessee, we're back at it again. They go home and lose. And it's because they had a bad second half. What did I just preface? So, I think Kansas is a nothing burger of a team. I don't think they're very good. But not bars. I don't think anybody heard that. But Kansas is ranked at 6-2. I think they're on here again. They got another upset. Maybe I'm wrong. But Tennessee, I mean, you got to have a better second half than losing by 12. So, warranted loss. It's just how it happens. Michigan's going to win it all. That may be crazy. They look so good. This was a team that I thought was the hottest in the league, and they lost by 40. Penn State's going to go against them and lose by 70. This is ridiculous. And that's absolutely not. This is the best team in college basketball right now. This is who I picked to win it all right now. It's not even close. If Michigan and Purdue were to play each other, I'm picking Michigan by 10+. They look that good. It's ridiculous. And I would say Michigan's a defensive team, which, by the way, 61 points is great. But they scored 100. You never see that. And they're distributing the ball great. I mean, obviously, this looks bad, but the one guy, 13 assists that had 5 points. I mean, Michigan can distribute it well. They're shooting well. Everything about their game is well. They are the best team in college basketball right now. I don't care that they're number 3. Give me Michigan to win it all as of right now. My cropping skills get better and better as we go on. Florida, a shocking loss to TCU. Florida also has been picking tough teams to play for some reason. This technically was not one of them, and they blew it. I said it. This is the third time's the charm. Maybe the teams will understand. A terrible second half, you will lose the game. That was a great circle by me. But TCU, once again, I would say not really great distributing, but, you can see they're playmakers. Got enough points to win themselves the game. And as a 4-point win against the Gators, I bet they were pretty happy. So I think the Gators are still have a good chance to make March Madness, but this is a big blow, especially since TCU was projected to be a nothing burger of a team. So the reigning champs are 4-2. Michigan State is the second best team in the Big Ten. I think the Tar Heels obviously are a very good team. They always are. But Michigan State, it's just a Big Ten. I think the physicality is the difference right now. Absolutely not. But once again, it's a game where they just dominated all the way through. They dominated both halves. You do that, you're winning the game. Once again, distributing the ball. It's just good, clean basketball. There's no other way to put it. Both Michigan and Michigan State, which, by the way, they play each other. That's going to be a fantastic game. Imagine they play in March Madness. Woo! That'd be a great game. That would be so fire. But I think these two teams are probably going to make March Madness. I think Michigan State, obviously, Michigan State's better. I mean, they just beat them. So can the Tar Heels get the revenge? Illinois, once again, plays a tough team and loses. I think Illinois is kind of a bit of a fraud. But UConn needed this win, and boy, did they deliver. The second half was pretty close, but if you're winning by 11 in the first half, it doesn't matter what you do in the second half if you keep it close. UConn needed this. There's the way to put it. Obviously, losing to Arizona is not a bad thing at all. I mean, it's Arizona. So, yeah, but we'll see. Can UConn keep it up? Because, obviously, there's so many top 25 matchups. This was also a shock. This is probably a bigger shock than last time. This game was close throughout. Really, it was the penalties for Tennessee that kind of blew it for them. The fouls, you get my point. There's nothing really to highlight even with the points either. I would say they distributed well, but it's not really like crazy distribution. Yeah, this was a game Tennessee was supposed to win. It happens all the time in college basketball. Team slips up and they lose. This was a great game. I should have watched this game. I only saw the highlights, but great game throughout. Tennessee, I mean, with the SEC right now in college basketball, they could miss March Madness. That may be great. I wouldn't bet them on missing, but they could miss. It's very possible. So my cropping skills get better and better. Anyway, 66-67. So Florida, once again, defending champs, not doing enough here, especially Duke. Obviously, great basketball school. They could make the football playoffs. So they're really having a great year sports-wise. But Cam Boozer did enough to win them this game. I think it's Cam Boozer, right? He's on Duke. But I mean, this was a close one throughout. Oh, no, Cam Boozer's on Kansas. I don't know what I'm talking about. They have some big name. I forget. But Duke, obviously, a 1-point win. These two always play each other tough. It's like a big thing. But Florida, you're losing 2 straight. You're 5-3. That is not good for your playoff hopes, like at all, especially in the first half. This game, it looked like Florida, if they got just a little bit more time, they were probably going to win this game. Duke did not have a good second half, but they had a good enough first half to win with 67 points. UConn, once again, I got the screenshot as soon as the game ended. That's why there's no video or anything. But defensive battle, Kansas just did not show up in the second half at all. That was the difference. It's once again bad second half. It's blowing it for teams this week. Great distribution once again for UConn. They're great at that, but they got to score because they're a defensive team. So we'll see if that keeps going. For some reason, the color changed. These two obviously play each other tough all the time. The Tar Heels got to bounce back. Kentucky 5-3. I think Kentucky is still probably going to make the March Madness. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that make it, but yeah, but it's just, this was a great game. The Tar Heels edged it out. Caleb Wilson looked great, obviously, 15-12, and 15-12-6 is a great stat line for college basketball because you're supposed to distribute it a lot. So, good win for the Tar Heels. And now we head to Penn State and Boise. We'll talk about Boise. They only have one game. But we beat the Nerds. This is where we get to go back in time for only 2 weeks. We beat the Nerds by 4. I was worried about this game because they were up 3 at halftime. A bad second half. I'm not going to say it again. Josh Reed still looks unimpressive. He just doesn't look like he cares, to be honest. 14-5 isn't awful, but, it'd be what it be. Penn State, 5-0, and then we lose. Providence, obviously, is a great school. They're probably going to make March Madness. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't think it is. But close game. Yeah, I'm not even. Yeah, Josh Reed doesn't care. I do hate Josh Reed. I might be the biggest Josh Reed hater in PA. So, Penn State 5-1, and then they go back and win against Boston University. Wow, what a shocking win! This game, however, Josh Reed decided to play, so that's quite cool. Great distribution all throughout for Penn State. Their defense looked pretty bad in this game because they allowed 52.5 to Boston University. Let me preface that. But, I mean, if you scored 96, I'm not really going to complain. 6-1, great distribution. Their offense showed up on a game where their defense did not. Usually it's the other way around. And then they won again against Sacred Heart. I thought this was our church near us. That's where I thought as well when I first saw it. Obviously not. But, I mean, they were up 27 at halftime. Didn't matter what they did in the second half. They probably weren't losing. So, Josh Reed is trash. Anyway, Penn State is 7-1. They win once again. They're playing a bunch of nobodies. They kept it that way with another win over Campbell Fighting Camels. Might be friends of Shanghai Sharks. So, Josh Reed, only shot, did not pass the ball. He brought in his Michael Porter Jr. I wasn't mad because he shot like 7 for 10. So, the 4-4-4. Man, that's a devastating stat line. I don't think he got many shots. I don't remember how many he got. He may have gotten like 4. But Penn State dominated throughout. We weren't losing to the Campbell Fighting Camels. Okay, that's not happening. Yeah, really. Speaking of that team, we did not look great in this game against the. Yeah, bro. Like, what are we doing? They're close to North Carolina. Maybe that's why they were so good this game. That's about the only reason I could give. Our distribution is terrible, if you can't tell. Our defense is good. Our offense is terrible. That's what I'm learning from Boise this year. Usually that is how it is. So, it didn't flip slides. I love this. This was a disappointing loss. This was a very disappointing loss, actually. I really thought the difference right now, we shot 20% from 3. That was the difference. We make 1 3. We're going to overtime. And I think we would have beat them in overtime. So, we shot field goal percentage better. Our threes were so bad that we just did not win. Distribution is still terrible. We just aren't good at that. But we're great at defense. Our defense was great this game. We just lost. I really wish we won this game. This is the one game on the schedule out of everyone I wanted to win, and we lost. So that's quite sad, especially by 3 with that many points. So
6-7.
It did not get any better. This is the one game that I expected us to lose out of the entire schedule, and we lost. This game was not close, like at all. They just outplayed us the entire way through. Dylan Andrews was really good. That's about the only good positive I can make from this game. Not even our defense played well, which is like our thing. So, oh, you're so funny. We beat the Shanghai Sharks, brother. That's a no. Anyway, next slide. The Bulldogs and the Wildcats. Huff has to play a good game. That's going to be the thing. Can he play a good game? Obviously, he is scoring more and shooting better, but I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I suck at pronouncing names. 80% free throw. So that's going to be the difference.
That's like 43% free throw.
Yes, he's very bad at the free throw. He needs to make his shots and not go to the line. So the difference right now, it's going to be who plays better defense. I'm not trying to direct you to that.
What's that say?
Yeah. The odds are 50-50. Kentucky's really good at home. That's the thing. Obviously, the Bulldogs haven't had a lot of games at home. I don't think home field advantage is as big in college basketball. Kind of the same with the NBA. The NBA is a bigger court, so bigger fans. But this is going to be a really close one. I'm going to take the Bulldogs, however. I think they're going to distribute it better than Kentucky. Plus Kentucky, I mean, they're coming off a loss. So, actually, no, they won 2 straight. Gonza's coming off a loss. But still, I think they get their bounce back. Whatever. You get my point. But I think the Bulldogs get the win here.
I'm going to disagree with Kolstin on this one, on one key fact. Yes, home field advantage is not very good at most places. But if you get a ranked game at Kentucky, you better start praying. Right here, you can't really see it. This place will be rocking for this game, especially with how hot Gonzaga's been. I really just like the defense. 63 points a game. You're out rebounding them. You're out blocking them. You've won your last 2. You're 5-2. You're undefeated at home. All of your losses came on the road. That's home field advantage, Kolstin. Undefeated at home. And that's going to stay that way with a big-time ranked win against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. God, I did it again. Oh, yeah, you need the mic.
Yeah, I kind of need the mic. Can you get rid of the marker, please, so I can hit the next thing? Yeah. This may be a shock. I don't think Purdue's looked that good. You can tell they're outscoring Purdue. So it's going to come down to who has a better defense. I think Iowa State has better defense. Obviously, Purdue home field advantage is very, very good. But I don't think it saves them. I think Purdue is kind of just an iffy team, especially a number 1. I think a lot of teams behind them are better. I think this game's obviously close because it is the number 1 team in the nation. Would I be shocked if Purdue wins? No. Give me Iowa State in an upset. Why am I giving you my marker?
I don't know. It's not the first time you've done that, and it's also not the first time we're going to disagree on college basketball. Yes, Purdue might be a little overrated. Yes, they might not be number 1. But I can't go up against a Big Ten team at home. I mean, you're out rebounding them by nearly 4 a game. You're out assisting them, out blocking them. 11 steals a game is impressive. But yeah, just give me. You know more about college basketball than I do. Just give me Purdue at home. I just think it's going to be really tough to lose as the number 1 team on the road. Top 7 matchup here, Michigan State and Duke. This one's going to be another really close game. It has Duke killing Michigan State. I mean, you take a look here, equal rebounds, equal assists. This is going to be really close, but I just think Duke's offense is going to overwhelm the Spartans. And for the first time this year, the Sparties are going to be the Lossies and lose at home. Yes, this is going to be rocking. I feel like a lot of really high-ranked teams, places are rocking. The Bryce Jordan Center for Penn State. Not rocking. Kolstin, what's your pick heading into this game?
Now, I do agree. The point differential is very different. But the thing is that Duke has played literally terrible defenses. And Michigan State's got a great defense, about as good as Duke's. It's going to come down to, can Michigan State put up the amount of points that Duke does? Now, I'm obviously Big Ten bias, but I genuinely think Duke is not going to win this game in Michigan State. This is one, as you said, a bunch of the top schools in college basketball have great home field advantage. I would not say Michigan State's to the degree of Duke, the degree, but I think it's come down to, can Cam Boozer play well? And we've seen multiple times in his young career, he's not great in these big-time games. Last time he didn't even play. So, obviously, he's going to be one of the top players in the draft, so that's why he's not playing most of them. But if Boozer doesn't play, Duke does not win this game. It's going to come down to, can he shoot well and will he play? Give me the Spartans to go into the top 5. I'm staying on here. You're not getting the next one. Illinois and Tennessee. These are 2 teams coming off losses. Tennessee obviously has lost 2 straight. And, I mean, if you're going to go against a team that's, the same record as you, basically, you want to go against Illinois. I think these 2 teams need a bounce back. Points about even. Average points about even. I think if you equal that out, it's less than a point differential. So it's going to come down to who has more firepower in between a Big Ten team and an SEC team. If this was football, I would say SEC. I'm going Big Ten. I don't think Tennessee is a bad team, but you're scheduling all these games, especially at home. By the way, neither of these teams have had an away or a home game for either of these sets. That's crazy to me. But I think Illinois is just a little bit more firepower. I think it's going to come down to, this reminds me of the Arkansas-Michigan State game. Illinois is going to go in the paint. Tennessee is going to go for the 3. If Tennessee makes a good 3-point shot the entire game, they're going to win this game. But I don't think they do. Illinois is going to stop the 3 from happening. That's going to win them this game. Knock them above Tennessee, and Tennessee is going to lose 3 straight against top 25 opponents.
Kolstin, you're going to call me the Buffalo Bills or the Minnesota Vikings because we're over 4. I think Tennessee is going to win this one at home. You think the 3-ball isn't going to work? I think it is. Because at the end of the day, I don't know what the spread is. I'm going to assume it's like 2.5, 3. It's not a lot, nonetheless. But it's simple math. 3 is greater than 2. And that's going to be the difference in Tennessee beating Illinois at home and giving Tennessee their first home win of the season, which is, I think they played in a tournament which is neutral-sited. So, yeah, I think Tennessee's going to win this game. I think it's going to be close, like Kolstin agrees. But let's go to our next game. Auburn at Arizona. Don't overthink it. Arizona's going to win this game. Defenses looked amazing. They're practically equal with Auburn. Auburn hasn't played in about 2 weeks. They're rusty. 90 free throws, crazy, but just give me Arizona. Don't overthink it.
I'm going to agree with Aaden. Don't overthink it because the Tigers have not looked great. Obviously, they're 6-2. They're ranked, but they have not played much great teams. They've lost 2 against and 1 against an unranked opponent. Arizona is 7-0. Obviously, it's a very big circle. But, I mean, this is just a better team against a worse team. Now, technically, Auburn has been putting up more points. But take a look at the defense. Just made a B. But, I'm going to be sure Arizona wins this game. Because I don't think – that wasn't a great pun. That was terrible. But I think Arizona is obviously a much better team. They're number 2 in the nation. I think there are better teams behind Arizona. I think they're definitely better than Purdue. But this is a game Arizona should not lose, especially at home. Plus, once again, a team that has not played an away game the entire year. Yeah, I feel like they're going to trip up here. This is the last slide, so I'm going to start. Yeah, I don't think Boise's coming into Butler and winning. Butler's look great. I think this is a less bad Gonzaga. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is less bad. Yeah, I think it's because of that. But obviously they're outscoring us by 12. We're allowing 1 less point, but our shooting percentage is awful. Just look at it. I mean, they're just playing better. I think obviously we are coming off a win, but we're coming off a win against a nobody. I don't know who Butler has played. I'm guessing it's going to be about the same level of competition. I'm sorry, Boise. You're not winning this one. So, I love my Boise Broncos. That's going to do it for me. We're going to end it off with Aaden.
That's usually never good. Kolstin doesn't believe in his Broncos. And to be quite frank, neither do I. I think Butler's just too good of a team. Like you say, they're outscoring you by 12 a game. They're out-rebounding you, out-assisting you, out-blocking you, out-stealing you, out-streaking you. Butler's going to win this game by 20. That's my hot take. I think Butler's going to win this game. They're just going to dominate down low. Like Kolstin said, this Boise State team has no distribution. They haven't played an away game yet. That's it for me. Kolstin, sign us off.
Great throw of the mic. That'll do it for episode number 5. We're going to try and get to you next week unless it snows like crazy. I would not be mad about that. But we're going to probably keep it like this because I like this a lot better where Aaden gets to talk because I feel like I was just yapping the entire time Aaden was getting bored. So we're going to give him a chance to speak. But we're gonna do it the same way. We're going to have the same kind of slides. I just like this a lot better. We will not have 73 slides probably ever again. I would be shocked if we have that again because this is going to last like a while. So, longer than that. It's going to be a while. But that's going to do it. Episode 5 actually coming out this time. That's kind of cool. So, that'll do it. Episode 6 is going to be coming out at some point. I don't know, probably next week. So, that'll do it. See ya.